Legacy Wealth Management was founded out of a desire to provide the best client service experience in the financial industry. After working for years in the traditional corporate investment world, the founders of Legacy Wealth Management knew that there was a better way. With so many companies pushing their clients to call centers and increasing account minimums, they wanted to deliver a client experience second to none. They believe in education, communication, and a deep commitment to a personal relationship with each client. Call Legacy Wealth Management today or go online to lynchburglegacy.com to improve the relationship with your finances. Legacy Wealth Management Group. It's more than a plan for your money, it's a plan for your life.
Broadcasting from Watts Creative Studios and live on Grove Street FM, you're listening to Talk Local to Me, brought to you by the Central Virginia Business Coalition.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Talk Local to Me. I am Heather Alto with the Central Virginia Business Coalition.
And I'm Mike Norfield with Visiting Angels of Lynchburg, serving Lynchburg and surrounding counties.
So I was joking, but I really am going to say it. Like, I feel like today's podcast is brought to you by the letter M, because we've got every guest on our show, their name starts with M. You're Mike, so of course you start with M, but we've got Mike Roach here with PIP Printing and Matthew here with MJR Bookkeeping. So we're going to get into talking with both of our guests in just a few minutes. But I wanted to kind of, first of all, say happy first week or week prior to school starting here in the majority of our area. I think some schools have already started back.
Brookville already went back.
I know Appomattox County, I think, has returned to school.
Yeah.
But Bedford County doesn't start till next week. I don't think Lynchburg City starts till next week.
Okay.
Brookville started back?
Oh, I thought so.
I don't know. My nephew goes there and I'm not sure. Anyway.
I thought I saw Jennifer saying that Katie went back to school, but maybe not.
She went back to school for Central Virginia Governor's School.
Oh, for the governor.
So the
governor's school started up.
Yeah.
So the smart kids are already back.
Yes. So that, no. I didn't never do that. I didn't do the smart kid thing. Yeah. I was smart, but I didn't want to do extra school, man. Like, what? So that was me. But yeah, so I know like all you parents, they're struggling. You're on the, well, actually, I don't know how you feel. I know there's some that are like, oh no, school's starting back up. You're struggling. You got to get school supplies all together and you got to get, I had a complete mom fail this week. I was actually all upset about it this morning because my daughter wanted like this specific backpack from JanSport, and I just waited to order it because I wanted to go shopping first to make sure she didn't see something else she liked.
Right.
And then went today to order it, and guess what? That one backpack of all the 60 backpacks sold out, gone. No backpack for her. So she has to choose something else, but that's okay. But
I think she'll find something.
Yeah.
Probably something with a giraffe on it.
There's probably, no doubt. But there's probably some parents that are like, okay, great, school's starting back up. My daily routine can go back into its normal mode. I think summer kind of throws parents off. While I don't say, of course, school's not babysitters. Let's just state that. But I do think it also, when you're in school for longer than you're not, the rhythm that you get into with your kids and your home routine and all that gets disrupted for a couple months. So you're excited to get back on track. Now, I'm not sure how mine's going to look because she's going to middle school. So times and stuff shift this year.
Right.
But if I can say anything to any parents or hey students, if you're listening in, going back to school this year, be kind, have a good school year, and be nice to your teachers because they're just there trying to help you out later in life, right? Right.
That's right. So, a lot of kids, when they go to school, you never realize like teachers are real people.
Yeah.
And now that I'm friends with people who are teachers, it's kind of weird to like, oh, look at that.
Yeah, they do. They do things outside of the school.
Yeah.
Speaking of school, though, I will say we are hosting this Friday, so 2 days from now. The Bedford Downtown Cruise-In is coming back on the second Friday of each month. Excellent. For August, September and October. And so that's this Friday. And cars will start lining up. So we're shutting down the roads at 6 o'clock. So if you park in downtown Bedford, you're going to want to be out of downtown Bedford by 6 or your car is getting blocked in because we are shutting roads down.
You'll be part of the car show.
You'll be part of the car show. So, we'll have all the classic cars coming at 6. And then it's, running from about 6 till dark, 6 till about 9-ish. It's free. You just come and check out all the cool classic cars. And we want you to go by all the downtown local businesses and shop, eat some food. Clam Diggers will be open.
Awesome.
There's lots of local options down there for you. And one of the things we're doing this Friday is if you want to bring school supplies, we're going to be collecting school supplies and taking those to the Bedford County school board office so that they can distribute those between schools that potentially may have some needs for that throughout the year. So that's kind of a plug into school starting, segue into cruise-ins, and we have all that going on.
Excellent.
Yeah. So it should be fun.
Should be a great event.
I've never been. Okay. So I don't know about you guys. I don't know. I'll ask with you. Have y'all car shows? Do y'all ever go to those? No? Yes? Mike, you do?
Sure.
Okay. So I've never really been to a car show, so I'm not sure I'm excited for it. Autumn really does. Her and her husband do a lot of car shows. Like they drive to Virginia Beach and do some of those kind of cruises, like cruise-ins, I guess they're called.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really excited to be doing that.
And people take a lot of time and restore old cars and soup up new ones and all sorts of stuff. So it should be pretty cool.
Yeah. I think in September we're doing we're asking everyone to bring canned food so that we can do a canned food drive.
There you go.
And then October we're asking all the car clubs. So we're asking them to dress up in like the age of which their style car is. Okay. So if it's like a 70, we're having them dress up and make it kind of not really a Halloween event, but kind of a dress up. And they're bringing Toys for Tots in October. So
very cool.
Kind of fun way to give back to the community as well. So
awesome. Sounds like a lot of fun.
And now, so real quick before we get into our guests, I do want to just give Woody over here a shout out. Look, he's like, let me turn my mic on. I didn't know Heather was going to talk to me today.
Sit up. Yeah.
If you haven't gone to Grove Street FM, you need to do so. They've just updated the app, but tell us about some of the things that are on there. I know we haven't plugged it in a while, so I want to make sure people know.
And what's your number one podcast on there, Woody?
They're like all the podcasts, like my children. They're all my favorite.
Right.
Yes. So the app is.
He didn't even answer.
Yeah,
I know.
We have a ton of new features in the app. One, we've updated our emergency scanner feed, so it covers Central Virginia, and that gets quite a bit of traffic.
I bet.
We've updated the podcast, all the podcasts in the local podcast in the app. So the podcast players are different. You can now favorite episodes. You now have a favorite section. We've kind of cleaned it up, added a few more actual video feeds. So I think there's 20 plus video channels in there now that run 24/7 that have content, the little video television channels, and about 15 to 20 dedicated music channels. So
wow.
So really, like we've got it packed. We've got it.
So would you say Grove Street FM is like a one-stop shop for all your needs? As
it
far
really
as,
is. It's good for local
streaming and.
Yeah, we're going to be broadcasting some more high school sports soon. So if you're looking for local podcasts, local live sports, and even if you're just bored and you want some actual national content with the music channels and the video channels, we have a ton in there. So it's once people discover it, what I'm finding is that once they discover it, they absolutely love it. So we've gotten quite a few reviews lately that are about this hidden gem, and once they get it, they tell people. So it's growing, and we've seen a lot of growth over the last few months. So I'm excited. Yeah,
that is exciting. And speaking of reviews, if you're listening to this podcast and you go to the Talk Local to Me Facebook page, you can leave a review and recommend this podcast. I just discovered that this morning and did it. So if you're listening, let us know how you're listening. Are you listening live? Are you listening, through Spotify, Apple Music? Just leave us a little note there and say, hey, I love this podcast and I listened to it on, and just let us know. And we'd love to hear that feedback.
And also, speaking of some new things, we'll be announcing, because I know Woody and the CBBC has some things in the works for businesses coming up soon too. So that's going to be exciting.
Awesome. So many good things.
Yeah.
So many.
Yes. We've already got some fabulous benefits. So why not add some more?
There you go.
All right. So we are, like I said, in the studio with a couple of guests today, and we are going to start off talking with Mike Roach with PIP Printing today. And I can personally just say before we get started that we have used PIP Printing. And we use them for our letterhead, our envelopes, all those things that we need in our office. And, they do a great job. So that's my quick plug.
I also got my notary stamp there. So.
Oh, that's right. I forget your notary.
Yeah.
So, well, welcome, Mike. How are you?
I am doing great. And I did want to ask, before we get started, if we could retitle or rebrand this portion of the segment Talk Printing to Me.
Oh,
There you go.
yeah, I like it.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I like it. Talk
Okay,
printing to
I'm
me.
down with that.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about PIP printing, like, but not kind of gloss over, and then we'll kind of get into the nitty gritty with all the different things you do, but give us kind of a quick overview of PIP printing.
Well, you mentioned that GS is a little bit of a one-stop shop, and PIP printing is kind of the same way in the printing and marketing realm. From our location, there's a lot of things we can print, a lot of the traditional printing things from business cards and envelopes and letterhead, forms and books and magazines. But we have many other locations that we've got relationships with. Our owner has a PIP here in Lynchburg, but also down in Raleigh. And so we can kind of cross each other's services. We don't have to do exactly the same stuff.
Right.
So that helps us together. But also our owner's brother has a huge printing facility. So it's almost like being part of the same company.
Right.
And so, people who think, well, I need to print 5,000 magazines or books. PIP might be too small. Actually, we're not. We can do all that kind of stuff. We do signs and banners. So we can do big stuff, and we can also do stuff like pens and mugs and pretty much anything you could put your logo on. We can handle that too.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, that is good to know, because when I think PIP printing, you think printing, and that's why I love talking to people, because you learn so much about their businesses, and people have, they hear a name, they get an assumption of what you do, but they don't necessarily know all that you do. So I think that's great. And then one of the other things I really want to let people know is that you're local. I mean, I know we talked about you have a business here and a business in Raleigh, but one of the things that the Central Virginia Business Coalition really works with is local companies. And so we want to make sure we let people know, like, when you're supporting PIP printing, or most, well, if not all of the guests we have on the show are, local businesses, business owners. So now, do you know, how long has PIP been in business?
Well, the PIP here in Lynchburg has been around, I believe, since 1979.
Yeah, I knew it had been a while.
Yeah, so they've been around. It's actually a franchise, so there's about 65 PIPs around the country.
Okay.
But our owners purchased it from the previous owners who retired about 2.5 years ago. And so we're still local. I love connecting businesses. So that's why we're part of the CVABC, because it is a prime area for meeting other local Central Virginia businesses. And it's an important part of our marketing and networking.
And I do think when people, when I think of printing in this area, I do think PIP is one of those businesses that really do pop into your mind, into the forefront, because of the longevity of them, being in our area, and then just the quality of service they provide, and the fabulous employees they have, such as yourself there, Mike.
Yeah. I've just created my own title as the oldest young professional in Central Virginia.
Okay.
There you go.
So, yeah. I have the hairstyle to prove it.
I got you.
See, that's what, there you go, Lynchburg Living. You have like the top 40, like 40 under 40 or something like that. They that's what they need. The youngest old professional club or something like that.
Yeah.
I got it. That's what we need.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
When they come up with it.
It's a breaking story right
It is.
here.
So,
on the number one podcast for
that's right.
Studios.
Absolutely.
That's right. So let's dive into the printing side of it first, and then I want to talk a little bit more about that promotional side, because I didn't realize that was there. So the printing side, is there like a minimum people have? Like, can y'all just do anything from like 1 or 2 posters or flyers to like large quantities?
It really varies by what it is you're ordering. If it's a poster, 1 is the minimum. It's tough to make a profit on less than 1.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
correct.
It's kind of a rule. We could do half a poster, but even then it's tough.
Right.
But for business cards, you probably don't want to do less than 100, just because so much of the cost is in the setup. It's only going to cost you like $10 more to do 250.
Right. And they're kind of made to be given away. So if you're like, hey, I'm only going to be able to give away 100 of these, maybe you need to work on your marketing there and just have faith in yourself and order, 250.
Yeah. And I have extra thick business cards that are really good for throwing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can just throw those babies across the room and hit all kinds of people.
Ninja Star.
Exactly.
So
I do have a concealed carry permit for my business cards.
that's good. Yeah. You need it because they are thick. You could definitely hit an apple across the room with that.
Yeah.
So.
You've probably seen me throw them at a few events.
Now, do y'all help with creatively, like, creating some of those flyers or printouts that people have?
We can. We're not like an advertising agency, but we do have to have the ability to, you come in, you did a business card, now you've got a new person. We need to be able to, make those changes. And so we do have internal capabilities. Most people come to us at the very least with some kind of a sketch of what they're looking for. We've got graphic designers that can handle all that kind of stuff.
That's good. That's good. And for small businesses, so like my family owns and operates the Visiting Angels here, but we're part of a national network, kind of like PIP Printing, like a franchise. And they have a marketing team where we just say, hey, this is what we want. They send it back and it's great. But not every business has that. So being able to come in and be like, here's my idea. Here's what I want it to look like. And you guys being able to help kind of go from start to finish with that. And be able to help them all in one place so they're not having to go to a separate graphic designer and get something made and then bring it to you guys. Adds a lot of value.
Yeah. And I think our primary customer base is more small to medium-sized businesses.
Yeah.
We can work with larger businesses, but that's just been our bread and butter. And so a lot of them don't have their own marketing department that they can go to. And so they kind of come to us as needed to do whatever they need to be done.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things that I do get with our members when they're coming for anything, whether they're doing our billboards or, they're looking for stuff like they don't have anyone that does that graphic, or they're, I know for me, quite honestly, when people message me and go, I need it to be like this size and this many pixels. And I'm like, Woody, here you go.
I don't know what this language is.
Don't know what you're talking about.
So you don't know if it's in EPS file or an AI or anything like that?
No, I've gotten smart enough to be like, I need that in a vector file. Like, I'll just say that. And then whatever they send me, I'm like, okay, that's probably good.
Yeah.
And then I send it over. But that's what I do.
That's it.
So yeah, I think that's great that y'all offer that. And I know with us getting, the letterhead and the envelopes and even business cards, one suggestion I'll throw out there to those that are listening, make sure you don't move within a couple weeks or months after you get all that done. We had done that a couple years ago when we moved office spaces.
Right.
And then we had to reorder everything. And I was like, I actually kept it with the old stuff for a while because I was like, I refused to.
So we have been working on finding somewhere to move our Visiting Angels office for quite a while. And so the last batch of business cards I got for Beth and Hayden in my office, they actually don't have an address on it because, most of the people they're talking to in our office. So they know where it is. So I was like, oh, let's do this and save a little bit of money down the road. And, I thought, oh, we'll move in a month or two. It was like a year ago, but it's fine. But it was a good move because we can use them either way. So
yeah.
Here's the plan ahead.
Yeah.
Right. So with you were talking about booklets. Can y'all do actual full books, or is it just some of the small? Okay.
Yeah, we can do soft cover, hard cover. If we can't do it, we've got sources that we can work with to do it.
Okay. And then the promotional items, now those I'm sure that people have to order in certain quantities, but y'all can do everything like you said, from pens to what type. What are some of the things y'all do the most?
What's the most popular item?
Well, it's the old 80-20 rule. So 80% of the stuff is the same few things. Pens is by far the biggest in our area.
Right.
But if you look nationally, there's hats, rubber ducks, and all kinds of seed packets and anything you might use to promote your business.
I went to an event at University of Lynchburg, the Aging in Place Expo, and somebody had flower pots that had a little plant that you could put in it, and it was customized with their logo and things. And I'm like, now that's interesting. So I haven't decided if like that's kind of the route I want to go, or if, I don't know if I want to take something home from, a promotional item from someone's table and have to go home and do work and actually put it together. But
Right.
I've seen all sorts of weird and unusual things lately as people try to have something very unique. So,
It can help you to be more memorable.
Yeah.
Pens are very functional. The one main thing with a pen is you just want to make sure that it writes well, because who gets a cheap pen and keeps it?
Right.
They're going to chuck it. So sometimes we have people that are trying to pinch their pennies, and you kind of shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah. We accidentally got this pen several years ago and ordered them in big bulk, right? So, but we don't even buy pens for the office because these write so nice. We just use these. So I'm looking at it as we save money over time because we'll use it, for half the life of the pen and give it to somebody. But so if you got a pen for me and it ran out of ink, sorry. But yeah, so it's and it's nice to think outside the box too. So we went to the Fall Fling. Visiting Angels in Oakwood Health and Rehab co-sponsored that event, and we had a health fair, and it's an outdoor event. And I had some marketing person somewhere said, "Oh, you ought to get these sunglasses. These are a great giveaway." And I'm like, "That's ridiculous. I don't want sunglasses that say Visiting Angel on the side. It's our number one giveaway, especially for the outdoor events." And I probably 90% of the people who came to our table came because we announced in the meeting before the disc golf, like, "Hey, we have sunglasses. If you forgot your sunglasses today, if you're like me and you come outside and you're like, I forgot my sunglasses, come by and grab some." And they were flying out like hotcakes. So
yeah. Did you have any left?
I had a few.
Okay. I thought they took all of them. So, yeah. Well, I know for us, we do a lot of events, and we've even done like for our Empower, where we've asked people to bring promotional items that we can stuff into the bags to do as giveaways. And one of the things I do get is a lot of people going, where should we go to get stuff like that done? And so I'm really glad that you mentioned that, because that way we can add, PIP to that list, because I hadn't really, honestly, I think printing more.
Yeah, I didn't realize you guys did that. So that's good to know.
It's really good to know, because I think a lot of people are not sure, and they're using businesses they just find online where the quality is not as good. They're waiting on higher shipping times. It's a little bit more of a hassle to get back than, again, supporting locally, everyone local.
And hopefully person to person, we can learn more about you and what you're doing and steer you in hopefully a better direction than what you might have done by yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because you might have just been going for the pens, and Mike could have been like, "Hey, no, we've got these really cool, flower,
the flower pots and all sorts of crazy things.
Yeah, rulers, or I've seen some really creative things come out of different places.
Back scratchers, chapstick, you name it.
Yeah,
it's out there. So many stress balls. I started collecting stress balls just to keep them in my office, so that when somebody in my office comes and tries to talk to me and I don't want to talk to them, I can just throw stress balls at them.
It is good to have a collection of things that you can throw at people.
Yes, it is, especially if they're soft and they're not going to hurt. So
exactly. Yeah,
it makes a big difference.
Takes the legal aspect out.
It does. It does.
My problem is most of my stuff disappears. People take it. Like they come in the office and it's probably my little one, like my 12-year-old. Like that's what I'm talking about. My kids take it.
She's got it stuffed in her imaginary backpack she doesn't have.
No, I know. It's so sad. Don't remind me. I feel sad again. But so what would you say, Mike, like because of course we're sitting here talking about there are people that there are other businesses in our area that do printing and promo, but what kind of sets PIP apart from others? And I'm not trying to say what makes you better. That's not what I'm asking. But like, what would you say, not like talking to me, but what would you say sets you apart or is something that kind of distinguishes you guys from among other businesses that do those things?
Well, we've been here a while. And we work with all kinds of customers. And really one of our biggest customer, if you looked in our accounting software, it's walk-in. We get a lot of people that walk in just with their little projects for themselves or their church or whatever. But then we've also got extremely professional options that run the gamut. And so we are a one-stop shop for those companies that want to keep everything in one place, want to deal with someone locally. And I've been in and around advertising and marketing for a long time, even though I am the oldest young professional in town. But I really do try to add that experience that you might not get from another printer. I want to try and steer you in and more efficient and profitable direction for your business.
Do you do, and this just hit me right now, do y'all do like banners and yard signs and stuff like that?
Yeah, we do a ton of those.
See, there we go. I mean, that's awesome. Yeah.
We can do even like trade show booths, tablecloths, those
You can do like
retractable
tents,
banner
things like
stands,
that.
tents.
Look at that.
It's pretty
Wow.
intense doing tents.
It is. It is.
And we need we need one of those, like, what is it? The little
Rim shot.
Yeah, the rim shot.
Yeah.
Ba-dum-bum.
Yeah. So yeah, that's really interesting too. I get a lot of those for different things. So
Yeah.
we have different members that do things like that. And one of the things I will say, like with our organization, is we try to utilize, different members for different things so that we're
spread the
we're
love
spreading the love between all of our businesses that work with us, because we want to show them that we care and whatnot. But it's good to know that I can change it up, and do different things. So that's very cool.
Yeah.
Now, if you'll tell everybody where you guys are located, because you were talking about walk-in, how can someone get a hold of you, if like specifically if they wanted to call you about, some printing or promotional items? Like, what's the best way to get in touch with you guys for PIP?
Well, our location is on Memorial Avenue. If you know where EC Glass High School is, we're just a couple blocks down the hill from there.
Okay.
And then if you wanted to call me directly, phone number is 434-845-1153. That's our office. And so if I'm not there, you can talk to somebody else, but I'm the sales manager and the entire sales department. So hopefully I'll get a chance to talk to you.
Okay. That would be great. And yet we Mike and I graduated from good old EC Glass.
We did, and it's still
we know
standing.
Exactly
Wow.
where
I
we've
will say,
been.
though, that after we graduated, they did go through and put in air conditioning. So I'm a little.
You know what? Can I just talk about the days of being in French class on the third floor with no AC?
Yeah, that's why I didn't take French.
It's horrible.
They said it's on the third floor. I'm like, I'm out.
But we did get out of school some because of that.
We
They
did,
would
'cause it was
cancel
too hot.
school because it was too hot for us. So we got to get out of class because there was no AC.
Yep. I took computer class in the afternoon and got it on my schedule that way just because the computer lab was air conditioned.
Yeah.
So
Well, did you
that's what
Mr.
Markwell.
Markwell, yeah. Anyway, sorry, we're going to go down.
Mike Markwell.
Let's not go down a rabbit hole of our,
Yeah, let's not.
our high school career.
People might figure out how old we are.
Yeah.
I don't want everybody knowing that I'm 28. So, so I'm going to ask you something we ask all our guests on the podcast, and that's how long have you been a member of the CVABC, and kind of what's your favorite benefit that you get, or your favorite thing about the CVABC?
Well, PIP has been a member since last year, probably the middle of the year, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, I think it was March of last year.
Okay.
And for me personally, the main benefit, and I kind of touched on it earlier, is that the CVABC is a connector of businesses.
Right.
And that's my job as a sales manager, is I'm trying to connect people with PIP. But one of my favorite things to do is also connect other businesses here in the area.
Right.
Like I know a guy who's starting a new magazine in town. It's like, oh, you need to talk to this guy and this guy and this guy.
Right.
And that really floats my boat.
So the connections are your favorite.
Oh, yeah,
thing.
definitely.
So that and the podcast.
The podcast and that guy from Visiting Angels.
Oh, I hear he's a real jerk sometimes.
Well, I didn't want to say that.
Yeah.
but-
Well, you can't say that, but I can.
oh,
So I can get away with that. So I know him. It's okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. You
hilarious.
see him in the mirror every morning.
Mm-hmm. I do. I have to tiptoe to be able to see him, but I can see him in the mirror. So, well, awesome.
So thank you so much for coming on with us. And, if you're looking for any printing needs or promotional items, make sure to check PIP Printing out. Say that 3 times.
Or
fast.
if you just need some good jokes, Mike's, good for those good
Yeah.
jokes. It must be the name. I don't know.
Yeah, on the side, I specialize in dad jokes and jokes of all kinds.
There you go.
Mhm.
Great. So we are going to switch things over a little bit
To the other M.
to the other Eminem. Huh,
Yeah.
there you go. I love M&Ms, by the way. Just
Good to
throwing that
know.
out there. I don't
Good
know
to
why.
know.
That was just random food for thought today on Talk Local.
That's what we
Jimmy.
get for having this podcast at lunchtime.
That's what you need.
Yep.
I know. I need to think about that a little bit harder, because everyone's like, "Hey, can I take you to lunch on like Wednesdays?" I'm like, after 1, and people are like, after 1, and I'm
Right.
like, yeah, we
Average time for lunch on a Wednesday, 2 p.m. Just
2
saying.
o'clock. So anyway, so next we have Matthew. How are you today?
Doing well. How are you?
Good, good, good. So, I was thinking about it when I saw you were on the show today, and a lot of people, you think like bookkeeping and things like that. There's still people that are filing year-end taxes now that maybe have done extensions and stuff like that. Are you working on some of that right now too with what you're doing? Or are you is that kind of leveling out?
It's leveling out. I still
Okay.
have 1 or 2 outstanding, but yes, we are
Perfect.
still working through extensions.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about your business. And again, like kind of like I said with Mike, just kind of like a quick overview, and then we can kind of dive into different parts of it.
Sure. So MJR Bookkeeping Services was birthed out of COVID. Just needed a career change from what I was doing, and decided I like helping people and families kind of better support the true backbone of America, which I believe is the nuclear family. And the best way to support the nuclear family is small business. Because the tax code was written mostly for businesses, not for employees. Hot take right there. Being able to best support local businesses to just better structure the community. So I founded MJR Bookkeeping Services. We help small to medium businesses and nonprofits and churches, and even some individuals out there with like tax prep and things like that, and some other financial consulting. We do bookkeeping, just everything from regular compliance all the way to tax planning, tax prep, profit coaching, and things like that.
Okay.
Excellent.
That's a lot of things that I know nothing about.
Right.
Which, if you're like me, which I'm going to guess probably 85% of our listeners are, that's why it's important to work with someone like Matthew and make sure that things are being done correctly in your books before you realize they're not. And
Absolutely.
then you have the IRS breathing down your throat
Nobody
or
likes that.
different things like that. So, why is it important though that someone comes and tries not to do stuff on their own? I mean, I know there's some people that can do it if they have a simple, like, what is it, 1040? Am I right? What is that?
Yeah.
Okay. See, look at me. I know something.
Right.
I don't do my own. So, but why is it important to go to someone and have that done?
So you don't know what you don't know. Tax code is changing all the time. And, I'm even not apprised of what has happened in the last week or so. But things are constantly changing, and having somebody in your corner who, if they can't directly answer your question immediately, knows where to find that answer quickly, is very key in not getting sideswiped by the federal government or state government.
Well, I know I was on your, I'm actually on your website right now, so I'm checking that. But I love how you say you're helping churches and nonprofit organizations grow, because I think a lot of times churches and nonprofits try and do things on their own when they shouldn't, or they need help because they're trying to save money, of course, because they're nonprofit or they're churches. So I love that you really help to focus on those and working with their businesses as well. Do you work with a lot of those types of businesses?
I have about 3 that I'm working with right now to just get some stuff structured and get them on some good paths of growth.
Now, okay, so I'm going to bring it into some different services. So of course you've got bookkeeping. You said something about hold on, I want to like you were planning, like strategic planning, tax planning.
Yes.
That's what it is. So what is tax planning?
So we make sure first and foremost that your tax entity is structured properly, because there's your government structure entity, and then there is your tax entity, which even people with an LLC, they are still considered sole proprietors in the eyes of the government. If it's 2 or more people, there's partnerships. There are a lot of benefits once you hit a certain amount of gross profit to switching your tax structure to be able to save on some of those taxes, whether it be a structuring to a C Corp or an S Corp. And then from there, just other different areas of the tax code that business owners can capitalize to make sure that expenses are going to the right places. 1, to support business growth, but 2, also to ensure they're not getting hit with an extra large tax bill because they did something wrong.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now, now this is something that I ran into even for myself, and I know one of my staff had this issue a while back. I think in the past maybe 2-3 years or so, maybe longer, they changed up the way like W-2s were done. Now, so when they have these new forms that come out, and I'll be honest, they look Greek to me. I don't even know what it's asking me to do. Can you help with stuff like that? Like if someone needs to know exactly how to do that so that
Like a
employees...
W4?
Did I say W-2? I'm sorry. I didn't mean W-2.
They
W-2 is what you get afterwards. W-4.
They are so confusing.
I don't understand them now. Like it used to be pretty simple. Like here's what your here's how many you want, deductions and blah blah blah, and then it took it out.
And yet,
now
if you do your taxes wrong, the IRS is like, "Wait, you didn't do this right. This is how you should file." And it's like, well, if you already knew that, why do I have to fill out the form? But anyway.
Right. Yeah. And so sorry, I meant W-4. So this is how you know I don't know what I'm talking about. Like that's why I don't do your job.
What they did was they took part of the 1040 and just transferred it to that W-4. That way, when you are filling out your information, you know what you're going to file for your 1040. That way, it does create some confusion, but it does simplify the process in the end.
Well, I found that though. I think some people when they do them, they don't know what to put down. So they're not taking enough out at the end of the year. Cause that's what we had an issue with. She wasn't getting enough taken out. And then she got hit pretty big when tax time came around. So I think that's important even for maybe I would say small businesses to have someone they can connect their employees to, or, have them even contact you as a bookkeeper and say, hey, I've got a new employee starting, like walk me through what we should do with them. Because the last thing I think anyone wants at the end of the year is to get hit with having to pay something because you filled out your paperwork wrong.
Right.
So I just wanted to bring that piece up and see if you could, if that was something you helped with, because I just know that's confusing as all get out for me. So, just thought I'd throw that out there.
And there's a lot of details that need to be taken into consideration for that form as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So once kind of October comes around, then you get 3 months to breathe, and then you start
Just
right back up again.
Yep.
You get to go to PIP printing and get all your forms and everything printed and get them all filed away and ready to go.
Yeah.
And
there we go.
Yeah.
Amen.
Right.
Yeah. So you work with small businesses, large business. I mean, any type of business though. It doesn't have to be nonprofit and churches. Like I want to throw that out there to talk about, with bookkeeping. Now, do you go through like QuickBooks?
I do.
Are you
I'm,
QuickBooks certified?
I am QuickBooks certified. There is one other app I use with certain special cases called Wave Accounting.
Mm-hmm.
That is very special cases that we utilize that for.
Okay. All right. Very cool. So now what would you say, like when somebody is, I don't want to say, well, let's just go with starting a business. Like what are some of the most important things like you tell businesses to do to keep their stuff in order throughout the year for you to make sure that, it makes it easier for them to get their stuff filed or even look at their stuff throughout the year?
Yeah. So you want to make sure you have an effective system for receipt capture and expense capture. One of my favorite things, if you're already paying to use the G Suite, just set up a folder to capture and upload your receipts and other expense documents.
Yeah.
Same thing for sales. You can set up something separate. If you don't have like an invoicing or sales system that you can just pull reports from, just make sure if you are hand calculating, which is painful, it is 2023, there are free options out there. Make sure you are at least regularly, routinely capturing things in the moment. That way you have something to what's called reconcile to make sure everything is adjusted properly.
Right.
Other good startup things, make sure you are registered properly with the specific entities, like Virginia Secretary of State website, get your EIN.
Mm-hmm.
There are some benefits to that aren't going to penalize you as long as you have those things in place.
Right.
And make sure you are talking to somebody before you set up your LLC or do your filing with the Secretary of State, just to make sure you are going the proper routes, because you down the road, you might have to restructure some things and re-register. We want to make sure that it's not out of mistake. It is just because you are painfully growing and need to suffer that rather than because you made a mistake.
Right.
It's funny you said the hand calculating, because I don't know why I just brought me back to this, but I was watching Look Who's Talking the other day. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
And the part where like her parents are accountants. So, but they use the humongous, calculators, and it has like the big rolls of tape, and they're
those
like
things are
all
fun.
over the floor, because they're calculating all. I don't know why they just brought that to mind. It made me laugh in the middle. Now, what about people that are like sole proprietors or like they're contracted workers and trying to figure out like what are they writing off, things like that? Can you work with clients on that as well?
Absolutely. Anything that is routine and necessary for business, make sure you are keeping track. If you are going kind of the smaller startup route, make sure you are utilizing a separate bank account for all of your business needs. That is going to save you a lot of headache down the road.
It is. It gives you a kind of a way to also double check, like, wait, how much came in and how much went out, things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a phrase called piercing the veil, which is where you're intermingling your business stuff with your personal stuff. And that can get you in a lot of trouble down the road. With nonprofits, you can actually lose your nonprofit eligibility if there is much of that.
Interesting.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of things too that people don't realize that they can write off. And, I had some of those thoughts like when you were talking about like with COVID, because a lot of businesses started working from home, like things were, people started moving into opening their own businesses versus being in the corporate world anymore. And, how do you offset? Like, some people are like, oh, I'll just, I have a room, I'm turning it into my office, I can write that off. But there's specific
You got to
things
have a
you
lock
have
on
to
it.
do.
Yeah.
It needs
to
be
get that. It's not-
strictly for business.
Yeah, it's not just a simple like, if I move my desk into my daughter's playroom, like I can't, you can't,
Right.
write that off just because you threw a desk into a room and said, hey, this is where I work now. So I think a lot of people think that people like to bend the rules. They like to look at different sides of like it's the gray area, like the in between.
And with a lot more people working from home, a lot of them are doing it like in a spare bedroom or something like that. And it's still set up as a bedroom, but they just kind of push things to the side a little bit and set a desk up and think like, oh, maybe I can, claim this on my taxes. But that's not how that works.
Right.
Yeah. I'd have to throw it in like a closet. This is just, a little closet.
As long as the door locks.
They might not let me back out if I go in there and lock the door in the closet. I'll be stuck in the closet for a while. But
I wasn't going to say
coworkers there.
Yeah. So, I think that's one of the things I admire. I'm telling you, like bookkeeping, taxes, account. I know to some people out there, they think, oh, that's just boring stuff. It's like, but for me, it may be boring, but it's so important because it can make or break your business if you don't do something correctly.
Absolutely.
And, finding the right person to do that with. Because I think that's also a very personal thing. And I think that's a lot like relationable. You don't want to just go with anyone. You want someone that's actually going to sit down and, I want someone who's going to explain to me things and, tell me.
Explain it the way that you understand it. Because if they're like, oh, yeah, you've got to have your 1040 and your W-2 and your VA-4 and your I-9 and all. And you're just like, I'm sorry, what? But they can actually stop and explain those things to you of what they are. Yeah.
But then I also just want somebody when I go, okay, can you just make it work? It works.
Yeah, just give me a report and tell me I'm doing okay.
Tell me I'm doing a good job. Pat on the back. So is there anything is there anything else that you guys do that I haven't touched on yet? Any other pieces of like with the tax or the bookkeeping?
That's pretty much a good holistic view.
Okay.
Just everything to support small business. You can be as hands-on or hands-off as you'd like. And we meet with folks regularly, routinely to make sure that they are on top of where their business stands financially and helping them to meet their goals there.
And I'm assuming like, pricing wise, that's kind of dependent upon how big the organization is or the business or how much work they need done, that sort of thing. Okay. And I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Mike. And that, of course, there are lots of bookkeepers and accountants and tax preparers and all those things. So, what sets you apart? What is something that you feel you do that, is a little bit different or unique?
Yeah. So kind of the theme through everything here, it's the one-stop shop. We're able to help with bookkeeping, tax planning, tax prep, do some personal financial coaching as well with individuals that just need some help. And it's the personal touch as well. I have a guarantee of a 2-day turnaround time for any communication, just making sure that you are taking care of your needs are met. You're not just another phone number or another account.
Very cool. Now, how can someone get a hold of you if they're interested in learning more or want to, contact you to get started for maybe next year or, if they're starting something up?
Yeah. So The website that has the most or the shortest URL is lynchburgbookkeeping.com.
Okay.
That's going to be the easiest way to find my stuff there. And then phone number is 434-838-4211. I can receive calls and texts at that number, and be glad to schedule a consult and get to know you better and see how we can best serve your needs.
Very cool.
Sure. And of course, the question of the day, how long have you been a CVABC member, and what's the biggest benefit that you think you've gotten out of the Central Virginia Business Coalition?
Yeah. So when Mike mentioned that PIP has been a member since March of last year, I was thinking about it. That is actually when I joined as well. So going on my second year. And also to echo Mike, it's the networking, it's the connections, it's being able to meet other business owners and other people locally, and just being able to see who I can connect with and who I can connect those people with and be able to best support each other.
Excellent.
And you joined us for our Lead On Summit.
Yes.
And so I know that
was a great event.
I'm trying to think of different events that we do. That was a new one this year. So it's definitely something we're working on having again, which was our leadership summit, which we held in March.
Yes.
Yeah.
Highly recommend.
Yeah, it was really good. So we're working on those pieces again. And, one of the things I'll mention for those listening, I ask each of them to kind of say how they can get a hold of them, but you can go to our website, cvabc.org, and look them up on our member directory and get their information there. And then you can also follow us, on Facebook. We have Central Virginia Business Coalition and our Talk Local to Me page, because we do post these podcasts back again for your listening pleasure. So
And
if
with
you
fancy little quotes that you can share.
right.
All sorts of stuff. Thanks to Chris Morris for sorting that out and helping Woody.
Mm-hmm.
He does a great job with those. He makes us look good.
Yeah. If you're listening in today live and you think to myself, if you think to yourself and say, I really need to go back and listen to what they had to say, you can always find those links there, or at Grove Street FM. We're there proudly on the app side with the, what is it? The podcast. We're up there, right?
You're up there.
Yeah. We're not the last podcast.
We're top 10
We're not
for
the
sure.
first, but
We
we're
are
not the
top
last.
10,
If
guaranteed.
you're not first, you're last though. Was it Ricky Bobby?
Ricky Bobby.
Yes. I love that Talladega Nights. That's a great.
And if you're listening to this podcast and you own a business, or you work at a business, or you use a business, recommend to them to go to cvabc.org and look into membership and talk to Heather and see what you can do. If you're already a member and you're listening to this and you're like, man, this is an awesome podcast. That guy, Mike, both Mikes today were amazing. I'd love to be a sponsor for the podcast. You can also do that. You can reach out to us through cvabc.org or Heather at cvabc.org.
Yeah.
For your email address, pulling that from memory. So.
Yeah. So if you listened in at the beginning of the show, you heard our Legacy Wealth Management commercial. That's our primo sponsor. And we're going to cut to our post. I can't talk today. Post-roll
and then we're going to
sponsor.
come back and talk a little bit about community events, I think. Right?
Yep. So don't leave us just yet. Listen in.
Are you or a loved one looking for top-notch care and support in Bedford, Virginia? Look no further than Oakwood Health and Rehab, where compassionate care meets excellence in rehabilitation. At Oakwood Health and Rehab, we understand that each individual's journey to recovery is unique. That's why we offer personalized care plans tailored to your specific needs. Our team of experienced and dedicated healthcare professionals are here to provide round-the-clock care and support, ensuring your comfort and well-being every step of the way. Our state-of-the-art facility is designed to create a warm and welcoming atmosphere, making you feel right at home. Our cozy rooms, beautiful gardens, and engaging common areas provide the perfect setting for your recovery journey. Oakwood Health and Rehab offers a wide range of rehabilitation services, including physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy, all aimed at helping you regain your independence and quality of life. Our experienced therapists work closely with you, guiding you through your tailored exercises and activities that promote health and healing. But it's not just about the physical well-being. We believe in nurturing the mind and spirit too. Our enriching recreational programs and social activities ensure that you stay engaged and connected with your fellow residents. Your comfort and satisfaction are our top priorities. That's why our caring staff takes care of everything, from medication management to delicious chef-prepared meals that cater to your dietary preferences. Discover the warmth and support of Oakwood Health and Rehab in Bedford, Virginia. Our team is here to welcome you with open arms and provide the exceptional care you deserve. So don't wait. Call us today at 540-425-7800 to schedule a tour and learn more about how Oakwood Health and Rehab can be your partner on the road to recovery. Oakwood Health and Rehab, neighbors caring for neighbors in Bedford, Virginia. We look forward to caring for you. Wow, what a great ad. Thanks to Oakwood Health and Rehab for being a little sponsor there at the end. That guy that was reading the ad sure was long-winded though. So we'll have to tell him he's got to be a little quicker.
Yeah. Well, and if you would like that ad to be yours, contact us at heather@cvabc.org and we can get you set up. We've got a lot of different options for as little as $75 a month on up to make sure we get you promoted live here on Talk Local to Me.
Yeah.
So real quick before we leave you today, we got some upcoming community events we want to make sure you know about. We've already talked a little bit about the downtown car show that's coming up this Friday.
Friday.
Yeah. But we've got two pretty big events coming up in the next couple months. Next Saturday, August the 19th, we are having our Battle of the Bands event here in Bedford at Liberty Lake Park. It is from 5 to 9 p.m. and you do not want to miss it. It is free to the public to come out and have a great time. We've got 4 bands that are going to be competing for a $1,000 cash prize. And with that, we have food trucks. We have a beer truck coming out. We have a cruise in. We have kids area. We've got jumping fun is bringing a bouncy tent. We've got little kids tattoos and places that you can get artwork done. And Holy Heaven Cookies will be there. So you can come and get your desserts. Yep. We got all kinds of great things set up for Battle of the Bands. Again, free admission. Come out and just have a night sitting there and listening to some really cool bands, different genres. We've got a little bit of rock, a little bit of country. We got a jazz band coming out. So a little something for everyone. You can bring your own lawn chairs. We do ask that you do not bring tents and you cannot bring a cooler into the area. Just for ABC laws, we can't have any coolers. So.
Correct.
But that's okay because we want you to purchase from
our wonderful vendors.
Vendors that we have there. So yeah. So Battle of the Bands, August 19th, 5 to 9 p.m. And then September 23rd is the one and only Bedford Centerfest Festival, the second largest street festival in Virginia, I believe.
What?
That's what I've heard.
Fancy.
That's what I've heard. And also up for best event in Lynchburg Living right now. So go out and vote.
Wow.
Along with best DJs, Heather Alto and
That's right.
Mike Norfield for Talk Local to Me.
I'm a little offended you had to read my name off the card. You didn't remember that.
What card?
You paused. So
oh no, that was for dramatic effect.
There was.
That was dramatic effect.
We'll start calling that a Heather station.
So Bedford Centerfest is a 6-block street festival in downtown Bedford, September 23rd, and it is from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We have bands. We have over 120 vendors. We have a kid zone area. There's the Town of Bedford Police Department usually have a safety zone going on up at the top where you can go and get your child ID checks and kind of do a little bit of a touch a truck, but with a lot of the different state police. And we actually have police that come from out of the area. So it's really pretty cool.
A little collaboration there.
Yeah. So lots to do. I will mention again, you're going to want to be there between 4 and 6 to hear Glenn Shelton play. He's a Nashville recording artist. He's going to be there. Again, free admission.
Wow.
I mean, Centerfest is open to the public. We want you there to shop locally with all of our artisans and crafters. All of our downtown businesses are open for you to go in and support as well.
It's a great time to start shopping for Christmas because there's a lot of homemade, handmade gifts.
Lots.
Fantastic.
And then we have great bands. I mean, and some of our bands are local. One of them, Hunter Overstreet, he sings by himself. He's a solo artist. And he kicks us off at 10 a.m. But then we also, I think, are going to have some of our local cheerleaders performing in between acts and lots of just local talent. So come and spend the whole day if you'd like from 10 to 6 hanging out with us, a couple hours. We're hoping for great weather. We had great weather last year. So I'm hoping for the same. And then I would like to mention the Dream On Summit that is coming up on October the 6th. Minnie's Travel Boutique. You've heard Kristen and Chris Breedlove on our show quite a few times.
Yeah.
They
Kristen
are.
Last week.
Yeah, she was just here last week. They're bringing us a event like no other in our area on October the 6th and at Legacy Auditorium.
Yeah.
And the CVABC is partnering with them to put this on. But honestly, they've done most of the work. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I've done all of it. Because they've just been amazing. But we have some really amazing speakers. If you didn't hear on our show last last week we have I'm trying to think of all of them. We have Tom Nabby, who is a Disney legend.
Right.
He is the original Tom Sawyer that Walt had at Disneyland, and he also helped to build and grow the monorail system for Disney. We also have Doug Jones, who played I'm gonna get Woody all excited again, who I feel like some will know him from Hocus Pocus, because he played Billy Butcherson, the zombie from that movie, but he also was the Silver Surfer in Rise of the Silver Surfer. Was
very cool.
And then what did he play in Hellboy?
Abe Sapien.
Yeah. So if you're into that, I don't know that I'm gonna make Woody really not proud right now. Like, I've never seen Hellboy.
It's a great movie. Yeah,
I know.
The original ones, the first two. Yeah, I haven't seen them.
Then we have Milton Ramos. He's a former New York Mets baseball player.
Yeah.
Who his season ended because he broke his hand, but then he went and created paw grips, which are entrepreneurial, helps with the vibration of the bat on your hand when you're hitting. So he's going to be there speaking. We have I'm gonna hold on. I'm trying to think of Joel. Why did his last name just go right out of my head? But he is a painter that is with he's out in California, and he used to work for Disney. He was a Disney Imagineer. He's been an actor, an artist, and he's coming to speak as well. And if you haven't seen his artwork, and hold on, if I can actually get to him and I can tell you who it is, because I actually follow him, you would think. Joel Payne. I wanted to say Joel Painter, but it was because he's a painter. But it's Joel Payne. He'll be coming out. He's the maker of Wondrous Things. And if you follow him on Facebook, you'll see some of his artwork. It is just amazingly awesome. So we've got some fabulous talent coming out for this event, and tickets are on sale now. You can go and purchase them. They are $125 for general admission. And then they are still looking for sponsors. Sponsors get the VIP treatment. We've got all kinds of wonderful things for the VIPs. We have, tables, and you've got your own section. You get to have your own meet and greet with the different speakers. And then you also get, I think, we'll be giving away, some of the speakers are donating items to the VIPs that will be autographed. So it's really cool.
Awesome.
So it's kind of I was talking about the Lead On Summit. The Dream On Summit is kind of a secondary piece to that.
It's a sequel. It's the
right. It's a sequel to some extent, but
the unofficial sequel.
The leadership was all about, how to become a leader. The Dream On is like how to grow your business, how to dream big, and how to get to where you want to be in your business. And so
if you want more information about that, you can go to the dreamonsummit.com.
Right. And make sure you get your tickets, because we do, I'm 100% think with this,
it's going to sell out.
It's going to sell out. And you definitely want to get your tickets because we actually have people that are going to be coming from out of the area to this event, just with the different speakers that we have.
Yeah, I've got my tickets.
So, me too. So I just want to make sure everyone knows about that. And you definitely want to check it out. Get your tickets now. Am I forgetting anything? I don't know. I feel like I have so much going on.
Don't know. If you forgot something, you could probably go to cvabc.org and check it out.
You can. We do have some ribbon cuttings coming up.
Yeah.
If you're in the area, ribbon cutting this Friday at Kiss Cupcakes. We're going to be there at 4, and then I'm going to be driving my car pretty quickly to the car show after that. But Kiss Cupcakes is celebrating 12 years in business. So come and get you a sweet treat this Friday. You can also check that out.
That's the icing on the cake of our podcast right there.
Well, there you go. And with that, guys, we will talk local to you again next Wednesday. Make sure to join us live on Grove Street FM.